Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. The Dark Souls 2 DLC stream, which many people have been fiending for ever since I gave you a little taste of the DLC back on Wednesday. So hello and happy Friday. Happy Friday to many. Thank you for joining me here today on the stream. And this should be interesting. This should be interesting because, like I said, I kind of got back into Dark Souls 2 on Wednesday. I got a flavor for this DLC, but because of technical difficulties, I was not able to really get as far into it as I definitely would have liked. And, you know, there was actually on my final run through it, some people, of course, this is the pitfalls of having an interactive group of people who watch your content, right? Is that since I played on Wednesday, I mean, it was unavoidable. I had many people message me telling me about, oh, Phil, there's an optional boss at the very beginning of the DLC that you missed, but you need a key to open the door. And, oh, Phil, you got to this certain point, the room with the spikes, you screwed up. You should have looked around more in there because there was a lot of content in there, including a bonfire and lots of items and stuff before you got to that room with the giant monsters. Blah, 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 blah. So obviously people, kind of, spoiling the DLC a little bit, but I kind of fully expected that, being that this is, again, an interactive relationship that we have. And there are people who watched on stream, and there are people who watched on YouTube, and they're like, oh man, Phil skipped stuff. Keep in mind that Dark Souls has always been a franchise where there is a massive potential that, especially on your first run, you're just going to run by a lot of the stuff that's there or miss it. You could easily miss one door that may not be as apparent of a place to go and miss a big area. Okay? So the bottom line is, I know that there's stuff I need to do today, okay? And quite honestly, the bonfires in this DLC are kind of far apart, at least from what I've seen. I mean, a lot of combat required to get between the bonfires. And so today it's going to kind of suck because there's going to be a lot of recapping from what I did the last stream. You know, at least 10 to 15 minutes of me killing the same damn enemies till I get to an area where I can really explore. And that kind of sucks, but hey, that's Dark Souls, right? I'm going to do my best today to, get through the DLC and explore as much as I can. Today we're going to be playing for about 3.5 to 4 hours on stream. And those videos will be uploaded to YouTube. Maybe not all of them today. It all depends on how many I actually get to record. Obviously, don't want to flood the channel with an overwhelming amount of content in one day. For those of you who have been tuning into all the content this week, Gods Will Be Watching, which is what I played yesterday, will have 7 new videos going live this afternoon during this stream, actually, on DSP Gaming. So if you want to see basically the end of my gameplay of that game, because at one point after playing the game for about an hour and a half and not being able to beat a certain stage, I said that's enough, And you'll see what I mean when the videos go live if you didn't see the stream yesterday, but that is just the kind of game that, like, Dark Souls, okay, Dark Souls, there's a lot of trial and error, there's a lot of exploration, and there could be a lot of repetition if you die a lot. But that game I played yesterday, that's basically the formula for the game, is repetition and just trying over and over and over and over. And some people will love that, and some people won't. And I'm one of the people that, I'm not just going to sit there and play 4 or 5 hours on one single screen to progress. So, that's me. That's just me. That's my preferences. Maybe you do like that, but you'll see if you give it a look as it goes live today on YouTube what I mean. Okay? So today we're going to be playing for about 3.5 to 4 hours on stream. Now, will I be beating this DLC today? I don't know. Because a lot of people have been saying that if you actually do explore all the content of the DLC, that it could take a while. Other people are saying, well, if you die a lot, because a lot of people have been having difficulty with this DLC, that it could take a while. Apparently, there is a big difficulty spike at the end of the DLC. There's apparently an optional boss that's the hardest boss in the game so far, which kind of sucks for me, because if you remember, I didn't kill the Ancient Dragon. So I pretty much killed every boss except the hardest boss in the original game. And now, now if we're going to fight a boss that's even tougher, that could be a major problem. So I guess we'll see. Already I could see that my fucking PlayStation 3 is flickering, which is pissing me off because it didn't do that at least when I played the game earlier this week. Although I had such technical difficulties getting set up that I didn't really even think in the back of my head that the thing would flicker. So more than likely, I'm probably going to have to unplug and replug everything back in here before we start to try to see if I can get rid of the fucking flickering. But anyway, I digress. What I was trying to say was, today we're going to play for about 3.5 to 4 hours. We'll see how far we get, okay? If we beat this DLC, great. If we don't beat the DLC, it will be continued. And I'm not sure if it's going to continue on Saturday or if it's going to continue Sunday night or Monday. We'll have to see how far I get with other stuff today as well, including Oddworld, which I'm playing on my second stream tonight. Again, I said this earlier this week, I said it last night on Hate Live, and I'll say it again. I'm kind of perplexed. And the reason I'm perplexed is because when I actually played this live on stream on Wednesday, the viewership was amazing. The viewership was over 1,500 people, which, typically I only get for like a brand new overhyped retail release. And I was pleased, but at the same time, of course, keep in mind there were hundreds and hundreds of dickheads in here who were just trying to be douchebags and troll on me. But hey, you take what you can get. If someone's watching, they're watching, right? So that was Wednesday. Huge viewership on the stream, and I'm like, wow, there must be massive, massive interest in this DLC. It sucks that I couldn't play it on release day because PSN didn't update until late in the day. And then I uploaded the videos to YouTube, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's not much interest. Besides part 1, which happens with every single video series I ever upload, part 1 always gets more views than anything else. But it doesn't seem like many people are interested. Most of the videos don't even have... Now, keep in mind, this has been live for 2 days now. Most of the videos don't even have 2,000 views. And it's not that I'm playing badly. In fact, I've only died 4 times during this DLC. It's just that, I guess, I don't know if people are just don't care, or people went and watched it on other... like I said, I figured what would end up happening is people would go watch it on other people's channels. If they really wanted to see the DLC that badly, they're not going to wait for me to play it. They're going to go watch other people play it, right? And that sucks, because PSN basically fucked me. And PSN is going to continue to fuck me with this DLC because it comes out so late compared to Xbox 360 and PC. So thanks, Sony, for fucking my ass. I appreciate it. I really do. Extra, next time, hopefully you'll use Extra Lube next time. It's so funny how PSN is so different for PS4 and PS3. On PS4, you got midnight releases. You got things that are released super early, even pre-downloads. On PS3, they did never bother to even improve it. Oh, we'll release it whenever the fuck we feel like it. Late in the day. Everyone else will be playing the shit all day. You'll get it late. So thanks a lot. But anyway, like I said, I don't understand. Again, this is kind of like Bizarro Week. When it comes to Twitch and YouTube, where things that are doing well on Twitch aren't doing good on YouTube and vice versa. And the thing is, some people might say, oh, well, people just aren't watching your videos, Phil, which is completely wrong, because if you actually look at my Walking Dead playthrough from this week, it did very well. I'm very, very pleased with the performance of the Walking Dead playthrough. In fact, more so than I expected. I got, a lot of views and attention on it, and people really enjoyed it. So it's not that. It's that there's something up with this DLC. I don't care. I bought it. It's $10. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it to the end, just like I did with, with Dark Souls 2. So it is what it is. I really don't give a shit. I am going to play it until completion. And, same thing with a few other things. It's a shame that unfortunately, Oddworld, not a lot of people are really caring about. Even on the stream, we don't have very high attendance, which I don't understand because this is a game from 1997 that at the time was one of the best games of the time, was a huge sales hit back then. And what they're looking to do is revive the series. And they said if they sell 250,000 copies of the game, that they will actually make Abe's Exodus, which is the sequel, remade in HD. But honestly, I don't think too many people are paying attention to it. I think that maybe that was a bygone era of gaming, you know what I mean? And now people are all into what's the newest, flashiest thing with the best graphics and yada, yada, yada. And they don't really care about substance. It's style over substance these days. So, what else is going on? Not a heck of a lot. Not a heck of a lot's really going on right now. You know, especially moving into this next week. If you guys watched Hate Live last night, you know that we are heading into a major downtime. And what I mean by that is there is like nothing coming out in the month of August until the end of the month. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys, as you guys know I always am. I'm a little nervous in that regard because the months of June and July were massively affected by my move. And what I mean by that is you had, you know, a whole week at the end of June, a whole week at the beginning of July, if not even further into July, where I was not streaming, which meant basically a massive dip in any kind of income that I was making on Twitch TV, and also a massive dip in the income that I was making on YouTube because I wasn't uploading videos, right? So because of that, I can tell you right now, the months of June and July for me will probably be the two worst performing months that I've ever done this thing for YouTube and Twitch. But at the same time, that's also the first time I've ever taken time off like that. When you really look back at the history of me doing videos for YouTube and streaming, the most I've really taken off at a time, if you actually look at it, is maybe 5 to 6 days tops. Tops. And if you now look at, you know, me taking 2-3 weeks off, which is basically what I did to do this move across the country, that is a massive difference. And I think a lot of people weren't equipped for that. They're so used to, oh, Phil's going to put out content every day. Phil's Mr. Dependable. Phil's the guy who he's always streaming. He's always putting out videos. And not seeing that for almost 3 weeks, a lot of people were like, whoa, they were almost shell-shocked. And, I mean, that's what led to a massive decline in the number of paid subscribers that I had on Twitch. People were like, whoa, he's not here for 2-3 weeks. Well, I'm not going to renew my subscription. By the way, there was an update on that. Like I said, I probably lost about 80 to 90 subscribers during that period of time that I wasn't streaming. At this point, as of the pre-stream, I checked right before I started streaming today for a change. I'm up to 183. So I was up to a 240. Then I went down to like 160, 170. Now I'm up to 183. So I am slowly building back to where I was. And it's a shame, again, because we were so close to that 250 paid subscriber goal to get those new emotes, which I'm sure people would have been on right away to get. I even had a few saved up that people wanted to use. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I knew it was going to be that, right? I knew it was going to happen. It had to happen. I had to not be working for several weeks in order for this move to happen. And I am extremely appreciative of those of you who were understanding, right? Who were patient with me, who are still being patient with me. Because let's face it, I'm still having technical issues and stuff with my streams on a daily basis. As I get used to this new setup, I get used to the new office, I get used to the new computer. And, but yeah, unfortunately, it does look like because as a result of that 2.5 to 3 weeks where there was no new content, that at least, and here's what I can say, at least on DSP Gaming, my gaming channel, that the performance was really, you know, poor for, you know, those couple of weeks when there was no content, and therefore it's probably going to be my 2 worst performing months since I ever started. On the flip side of that, there's a silver lining to this dark cloud, is that the vlogging that I did during that period of time did exceptionally well. Usually when I do vlog videos, they only get a few thousand views I could tell you that most of the vlog videos that I did during the move, especially those two first weeks, actually did between 5 to 10,000 views each. And keep in mind that I was vlogging several videos a day. So I'm not sure, quite honestly, how that's going to translate financially. And the reason that I say that is the deal that I have with Machinima for my DSP gaming channel is different than the deal that I have with Machinima for my vlogging channel. Basically, I've explained this in the past, so I guess I can talk about it again. It's not really that big of a deal. I get paid for all my views on my videos on my DSP gaming channel. Any view whatsoever. So if you're watching it on a mobile device, if you're watching it on a PC, if you're watching it on a phone, an iPad, even on your TV, as long as whatever you're watching it supports advertisements, I get credit for that view and I get paid for it. On the vlogging channel, that is not the case. I only get paid for basically what they consider a non-mobile view. So people watching those vlogs on PCs, great. People watching those vlogs on laptops, great. But for the most part, anyone who watched those vlogs on mobile devices, I don't get anything for it. And that's just because that's the standard contract. If there's no guarantee of an advertisement, then they don't pay you. So it's great that I was vlogging for 2.5 weeks during that period of time, and I was able to share all that content with you guys. But I don't know how financially that's going to translate into anything for me. You know what I mean? And that's a little alarming. It is. It's a little alarming because I'm a little worried, what's going to happen with these 2 months where it wasn't consistent content, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm fully aware that later this year, especially near the end of August into September, October, and November, there is an insane amount of huge, overhyped, promoted retail games that everyone's going to want to see. The streams will probably be great. The YouTube series videos will be fine. I'm not one of these people who I'm just trying to be overly negative or anything, because I'm a realist, and I know that eventually things are going to pick up. This always happens. There's lulls during the summer, and then stuff picks up. I'm just saying, having 2 months like that back to back, if you keep in mind, we had a really great month in March. April was slow as hell. We had a great month in May. June was actually, the first half of June was great, but then being that I had weeks off to move, ended up, being kind of flat. July now, because again, for weeks I wasn't streaming, and the stuff that I did do after that was all filler content, basically until this week, that was kind of flat. And now August too, let's face it, the month of August, there's really not a lot of time going on. There's not a lot going on at all in the month of August. It's pretty piss poor for releases. Okay. And, until the end of the month. The last week of the month is pretty crazy with releases. But, for a month where, again, the youth of the world are usually out of school during the summer. Makes absolutely no effing sense that game development studios would not release games during the summer, except the fact that they basically live in the 1990s. They're not up on how actual culture works, or they're not even doing market research on their customer base to find that games that release during the summer actually would do well if they would fucking release good games during the summer, but they never do. They never did. It's pretty funny. It really is. That during the summer, they don't release any games. It's funny because the summer's like, oh, this is the time to release indie games. This is the time to release HD remakes, because we know that there's no big high-profile games during the summer. And those games actually do well. If you actually look at sales numbers, a lot of those games do really well during the summer, sales-wise, because kids are at home and they want to play games. So why on earth these idiotic game developers don't have games coming out during this period of time is nothing but idiocy. It's a complete lack of knowledge of their customer base and lack of understanding. They think the only way they can get their game sold is if they release it during the hardcore gaming season. I don't understand that. If anything, during the hardcore gaming season, games will undercut each other. Because you got release weeks, like the second week of October, where you've got 6 fucking games coming out at the same time that are all high-profile releases. So obviously your customer base has to pick and choose what they can buy. Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. So anyway, we're going to get started in a moment. It's funny because, as usual, this never ends. There's people in the stream chat acting like whiny brats. And why isn't Phil starting right away? Why doesn't Phil just play the game? Because I always do a pre-stream because it builds up the stream. As you guys can see, take a look at the stream numbers, right? They're growing because pre-stream, people need to... Oh, the Twitter mention went out. Oh, I finally got the email mention from Twitch. Oh, I got the text message from Twitch that Phil's streaming. Let me jump on the stream. That's why I do a pre-stream. I don't just jump into the content and then everyone misses the beginning of the stream. The fact that I've been streaming for a year and a half and there are still immature people who don't understand this baffles me, but at the same time, I guess some people just aren't as intelligent. I don't even know what else to say, because if you're in my stream right now and you're whining and stomping your feet like a 5-year-old brat, you're just making yourself look bad. And it's funny because my mods are telling the people, please behave, please stop. And they're like, oh no, the content. Dude, the content is coming. Grow up. Holy fuck, seriously. Unreal. Seriously, and I will burn you. I will burn the fuck out of you for looking like a fucking idiot and acting like a moron. Grow up. This has been like this since the first day I ever streamed. It's no different, and it's not going to change. So if you want to watch me play Dark Souls 2, and you don't like the pre-stream, you can watch it on YouTube. There's no pre-stream there, or the pre-stream is recorded, but it's optional. It's not even in the playlist for the game. That's the whole point. You literally have opted to watch the version of this gameplay that has a pre-stream, and you're whining that you made the decision to do it. Grow up. Wise up and grow up. Idiots. And I will say this, the mods, you guys can use your discretion. You guys can use your discretion. If you see a bunch of idiots acting like morons in the chat, and you feel that it is completely derailing the chat, go ahead and moderate. Go ahead, because people aren't going to learn until they realize that they don't have free reign to just spam their nonsense wherever they want. It's like I've said before, this stream is my place of business. This stream is basically my office. Imagine if you were going to any store and you walk into the store. This stream is my store. The difference is you're not spending money, you're actually paying for it with your time just to watch it. But would you walk into someone's store and say, this display is disgusting, and yell at the top of your lungs, this store sucks monkey dicks, they should really do this with the store, no, with the store. No, guess what would happen? Store security would walk up and throw you the fuck out, or they'd call the police and throw you out. It's no different. It's my place of business. So you either watch and enjoy or get the fuck out. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's your choice. And I've said that since day one. Whenever I did anything on YouTube, whenever I did anything on Twitch. It's no different. All right, everybody. Well, that's about it. As usual, I will say this, because, undoubtedly we're going to get more people on the stream as I start playing. Obviously, review the rules. Make sure that you understand the rules. Yada, yada, yada. My usual spiel. Because we do have mods that are going to moderate the stream. We do have a bot that moderates the stream. And we will not tolerate any kind of complaints just because you didn't take the time to read the rules. They are publicly listed. And, of course, last but not least, as I mentioned previously, I am part of the Twitch TV subscription program. And if you would like to possibly subscribe because you're enjoying the content today and you want to support my efforts to continue doing this on Twitch TV, feel free to do so. There is a little subscribe button nearby to the stream here today, and it definitely does directly support me when you do that. And I do want to reiterate that, keep in mind, I'm not like a lot of other YouTube streamers who completely interrupt their gameplay and content to do stupid noises and shout outs and giving you, oh, Johnny Two Tones just subscribed. Oh, Michelle Miguel just subscribed. No, I'm playing a game. I'm not going to completely interrupt what I'm doing. in order to give a shout out to someone who became a subscriber, because that's honestly, it's a cheap tactic to get more money. Because you're giving a shout out, someone will donate just for the fact of having their name shouted out rather than because they support your content. So I don't do that. It ruins the immersion of the stream. And in addition, I'm recording for YouTube, and that would ruin the immersion for YouTube. YouTubers would be like, what the fuck is he talking about? So I don't do that. But I am appreciative of everyone who is a paid subscriber. Keep in mind, I had some pretty great giveaways in the past year, including Grand Theft Auto 5 Collector's Edition and a PS4 system. So if you want to be in on that kind of stuff, definitely consider becoming a paid subscriber here on Twitch. Alright, and that is the end of the pre-stream. And now we will actually get started with some gameplay of Dark Souls 2. Here we go.